There's a time when the leopard was not the animal we know today. She was golden, shining like the sun, but oh, she was far from content. Imagine, if you will, the jungles, lush and wild, where the sounds of rustling leaves and birds singing fill the air. Among these creatures, the zebra dances with its stripes, proud and distinct. The cheetah races through the grasslands, its spotted coat gleaming like a flash of lightning, and there, among them, stood the leopard, her coat a simple shade of gold. She felt unnoticed, her beauty buried in the shadows of others. She knew she had the strength, the grace, and the pride of the jungle, but the leopard wanted more. She wanted to be seen, to be admired. And so, one fateful day, she made up her mind. She would seek out the gods and demand beauty. Now, in the heart of the jungle, there stood a sacred baobab tree, ancient and wise. It was said that the god who lived there had the power to change any creature, to grant wishes, but at a cost. The leopard was fearless in her desire, and so, with a heart full of hope, she journeyed to the great tree. There, in the shadows of the baobab's enormous branches, the leopard stood before the god, his form as old as time itself, with eyes that shimmered like the stars. "Great God, I seek your favor," the leopard spoke, her voice steady but filled with longing. "Make me beautiful, like the zebra with its stripes or the cheetah with its spots. Grant me something to make me stand out." The god, wise beyond measure, looked at the leopard with a knowing gaze. He studied her, as though he could see not only her heart, but her very soul. "Beauty is a powerful thing," the god said, his voice deep and echoing through the jungle. "It is not simply a gift. It changes those who possess it. Be careful what you ask for." But the leopard, her heart thundering with impatience, interrupted him. "I don't care about the cost. I want to be the most beautiful creature in the jungle. Please grant my wish." The god sighed, his ancient voice like a gust of wind. "Then go to the river at midnight when the moon is full. There, the magic will find you." The leopard's eyes gleamed with excitement. She could barely contain herself as she hurried off, determined to receive her new beauty. That night, as the moon climbed high, casting its silver light on the jungle, the leopard stood by the river, her paws sinking slightly into the soft earth. The air was still, almost too still, as if nature itself was holding its breath. As the full moon bathed her in its light, something strange began to happen. The golden fur that had once glowed with pride seemed to ripple like water. And then, from the edges of her coat, dark spots began to form, each one unique, irregular, like drops of ink splattered across her golden skin. The spots spread, creeping up her legs, across her back, and over her face, until she was covered in a network of them, as if the stars themselves had fallen onto her coat. At first the leopard was overjoyed. She looked at herself in the river's reflection, amazed at the new beauty she had been given. The spots were mesmerizing, unlike anything the jungle had ever seen. But as she stared longer, something shifted in her heart. She was no longer just the golden leopard. She was something else now, something different. And with that difference came a change, a subtle but powerful feeling of loneliness. As the days passed, the jungle creatures began to notice the leopard's transformation. They marveled at her new look, but the leopard couldn't help but feel their eyes on her differently. The other animals began to whisper when she passed by, not out of admiration, but of curiosity, of wonder, and maybe even of envy. The leopard's pride, once overflowing, began to feel like a burden. She had what she wanted, but the beauty she had so desperately sought came with a cost she hadn't foreseen. She no longer felt at peace in the jungle. The constant attention, the strange looks, it all became too much. And so she wandered. The leopard, draped in her spots, a coat of gold and shadow, roamed the wild with no place to call home. Her beauty had made her the most admired creature in the jungle, but it had also made her the loneliest. From that day on, the leopard's spots were a reminder of her wish, granted too quickly, without thought for the consequences. And the jungle, too, would forever carry the memory of the leopard who once had everything, but, in seeking beauty, lost something far more precious, her peace.